Hello, my name's Faress Zwain.
Hello, my name is Houcheng.
Hi, I'm Shreya Lodtha, and our project is called Rolling Up.
I'm going to begin by showing you the basic layout of our app. So here are the instructions that the user can read in case they're not sure how to play. The first step, though, is to select a player. I'll select player 1. Then you're going to roll dice 1 through 5. After that, using our scoring scheme, the player can decide which dice they want to re-roll. Here I'm going to choose 4, and I'm going to guess a number that the 6th die is. I'm going to guess 2. I guessed incorrectly, so I didn't get to re-roll. So my score is just going to be based on these 5 die, and it is updated here as well as in the table. After player 1 goes, player 2 will go on the other screen, and they will play until they both reach round 10, and the winner is decided based on the highest score at that round.
Now I'm going to show you how this game works for two players using ThinkSpeak. Here I choose player 1 and here I choose player 2. And I'm going to roll the dice, player 1's dice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I'm going to roll the player 2's dice. As you can see, after player 2 finishes his or her round, player 1's score got updated on player 2's screen. And same thing happens to the table. I skipped to round 9 because I want to make this video shorter. And let me show you what's gonna happen after round 10. 4, 5, 6. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I click show result on player 1's screen, it's gonna show the result in those message bars. Because player 2 has a better score than player 1, player 2 wins. And if I click show result on player 2's screen, it's gonna show the same thing.
For the animation, I used a while loop, where I make the app choose a random number between 1 to 6, and then I use a switch loop to make it to correspond each number with a specific image that represents a specific face of the dice. Um, this while loop runs 6 times with a pause of 0.15 milliseconds between each face of the die that shows up when the dice is rolling.
We make two static methods. This method is supposed to increase the total score depending on the max number of consecutive integer inside the array of dice value.
So the second static function uses a for loop to determine how many repeats there are in the values of dice numbers 1 through 5. Then it scores it accordingly based on the number of repeats. I'm going to give a quick summary of our scoring scheme for this game. So basically, with the two functions we described earlier, one for pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and 5 of a kind, and the other for sequence of 3, sequence of 4, and sequence of 5. Whichever function produces the highest score, that's the scoring scheme that's going to be counted. For example, if I get a pair and a sequence of 3, it'll only score me for a sequence of 3 because plus 100 points is most likely greater than doubling the current round score. Rolling a pair doubles the current round score. A 3 of a kind triples it. A 4 of a kind adds 150 points to your score, as well as subtracting 150 from the opponent's score. And a 5 of a kind adds 1,000 points to the score. For sequences, a sequence of 3 will add 100, a sequence of 4 will add 150, and a sequence of 5 will add 500 points to that current round score.
Okay, so this is the code we wrote for the audio. Here, the audio file is imported, and then it is run for the sound. The specific one is for the sound for the dice rolling, which I placed in the while loop. So it runs every single time somebody presses the button for the dice. And then we also have audios for when somebody guesses the correct number for dice 6, and an audio when somebody gets a sequence of 5. And then in the end, we also have audios for the winner. So it says player 1 wins or player 2 wins in the audio.
I made this class for ThinkSpeak. It has 3 fields: ID, API keys, and player. It also has 2 functions. The write function writes the round number, round score, and total score to ThinkSpeak, and the read function reads them from ThinkSpeak.
Due to ThinkSpeak limiting the amount of fields in a channel to 8, I created 2 extra channels, each with 6 fields for the roles of player 1. Then, manually using the ThinkSpeak write function, I created an array of dice rolls, the roll numbers for that player, and sent it to the ThinkSpeak channel. Then, using the ThinkSpeak read function, I extracted the information from those fields from ThinkSpeak and used it to input the edit field values on the opposite player's screen so that, for example, player 1 could see the rolls that player 2 did. Here is how we coded for the data that was going to be entered in the tables. So we created a table using design view of App Designer, and then we created 3 columns for the round score, and the total score. And basically, each time the 6th die was pushed, it would add a new row to the table with the new round score, and the new total score. For the ThinkSpeak version of the table, it was basically the same thing. We just uploaded this data to ThinkSpeak and then extracted it using a read function so that player 2 could also see player 1's table.
I did some error checking. In this if statement, I wrote this if statement to prevent the user from rolling the dice after round 10. I wrote this if statement to prevent the users from re-roll the 6th die, and I wrote this if statement to let the user roll the first 5 die before rolling the 6th die. And I wrote this if statement here to prevent the user from entering invalid re-roll and guess numbers.